Okay, so next topic. This is a weird one. There was a lawsuit. I don't know. Was it a class action lawsuit? I'm not sure. But these people who saw a trailer of this movie, called Yesterday. It's a really bad movie, by the way. Have you seen it? Yesterday.
I have
The
seen
beat. Oh, you have really? You barely
it.
watch movies. How did you see this one?
I don't even remember, but
Anyway, I hate this
I've seen
movie
it.
because I don't like this movie because it has a short, ugly Indian guy as the lead, and I don't like that. I don't like movies that don't have attractive people in it. I know that sounds super shallow, but it's my 2 hours. It's my 2 hours of my life, so don't judge me based on how I want to live it. Okay?
Okay, wait a minute. But then you could have stopped watching it right away though, because it was
I
apparent.
was with people. It was inconvenient to
Hmm.
just say it was not the time and place for me to stand up and say, "No, I will not watch this movie because it has an ugly Indian guy. I am leaving." That would have been awkward. It would have required more explanation than just an effort than just sitting through the movie and watching it would have required, okay? So I did it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I
Okay, so
remember enjoying the movie overall, I think.
I think the movie was pretty good because the director is Danny Boyle, and I respect him as a director. I just couldn't get over the lead casting.
Hmm.
Anyway, that's not the point. These fans sued the studio or the studio, I'm guessing, because there was a preview that had Anna de Armas as as a not as a love interest, but like a side love interest or something. She was in the movie, and she was. They filmed her stuff, but they cut it from the actual film. But for the trailer, they included her stuff, right? And they sued for false advertising. Essentially, they said you guaranteed that the product would have Anna de Armas. Are you familiar with that actress? She was in
You know what's funny? I actually wasn't, but then I clicked on I clicked on her and I recognized her from Knives Out because it just so happens that I've seen Knives Out as well.
Oh, okay. She's from Knives Out. She's in Blade Runner.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. You haven't? It's a great film. You should definitely watch the new Blade Runner. So they sued basically false advertising, and you would think, what the hell is this frivolous lawsuit? It will be thrown out. No, they won. It wasn't thrown out. They won. The judge said, yeah, that's false advertising. You promised that she would be in this film. They maybe they went to the theater, they paid good money, and they did not get the product that they were looking for. Now, I have a couple observations. Number one, the idea that a woman as attractive as Anna de Armas would be interested sexually in this ugly Indian guy is less believable than the plot of the film itself. Okay? And remember that the plot of the film itself is that this guy just woke up one day and the Beatles were wiped from existence, but he retained the memory of all of their songs. So he, like an asshole, went and wrote all of their songs because he just remembered. And everybody idolized him because now he's the Beatles. Now he's and the idea that she would be attracted to this guy is just so it runs contrary to every single fiber in my being. I just like, no, this would not happen.
Wait. I
But we
mostly
have like seen
yeah,
ugly rock stars get hot girls, so there is
exactly yeah.
that.
I mostly agree with you, but I mean, well, even just the Lang Lang video, right? Like, don't you think
Yes,
she
yes,
is that
yeah.
woman?
I would agree, but this is more me not wanting it to be true, right? Like you should not want this ugly rock star. It just feels wrong to me. I don't like it. I
It,
accept that it happens.
I mean, so
But here's the other thing. Here's
wait,
the
wait.
other thing.
Do you think the reality
Some of
is
these are
that
transactional.
okay? But
Uh,
so do you think it's a possibility that some women actually are attracted to, like talent, basically, essentially?
I think it's possible, but it doesn't align with the way I want the world to be. I don't like that. And I know that's weird because I think yeah, I don't think I'm terrible looking, but I'm not like a super good looking guy. And you would think, "Oh, wouldn't you like a world where you could do this and that you could get a beautiful woman or whatever?" No. No, I don't really it doesn't align with the way I want the world to be. And maybe this is like some kind of like well, this calls back to my assortative mating OCD. It's like I just
Right.
don't like the look of it. I just don't like it doesn't feel right to me. I just want attractive to people to be with attractive people and I want average people to be with average people. I want ugly people to be with ugly people. And it all feels right. Sort of like when I look at my closet and my white shirts are grouped together and my blue shirts are grouped together and my black shirts are grouped together. And I look at that and I feel good just looking at it.
It's just, I
That's
mean, yeah,
that's the same sort of
that
dynamic.
physical attractiveness, it's just one dimension, I guess, right? So,
It is, but it's the one that I want to see.
yeah.
Just
I think
like
like the talent dimension is real.
I think it exists. I guess have to acknowledge that it does exist. I know I have to say that it does exist. I was gonna say these women, like if there's a super hot woman that's with a rock star, it's just because he has money, right? But that does ignore that sometimes, like if it's just like you remember in college the guy that was able to play guitar and sing, like he got girls even if he was ugly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
He
think
was
this
not a rock star. He was not rich.
I'm more interested in the truth, and I think the reality is that this does exist.
It does exist, but I don't want it to exist. Like my OCD wants it to be white shirts, black shirts, blue shirts, red, other color shirts, right? I don't want there to be some other category that you can sort by, like, are some short shirts French cuff or something, right? Like I don't want there to be something else. I just want this visual simplicity. And so I just don't like seeing it. Anyway, these people won the suit. So the other observation I will make is that if they can win a suit based on this being false advertising, what other kind of shit are people getting away with that is really false advertising? They're promising you a bill of goods and they're not delivering. I think I would say can it not be more flexible, this law? There are laws about, false advertising and things like that. And the studios just got dinged on one. What other kind of laws and what other kind of industries could be dinged on this sort of stuff? We all know when you watch a commercial
I'm thinking about
about fast food, all the fast food you can see in fast food commercials, it's
yeah,
not even food, right? It's like plastic sprayed like lacquer on it, and
yeah.
it's all cold, and burgers in a McDonald's commercial are like 3 times as tall as they are in real life, right? You know about all of that stuff, or I don't know if you do know, but if you don't know, here it is. They do
Yeah.
that.
I'm
What other kind
reminded,
of
yeah,
stuff
I'm reminded
can we get?
of the peanut brittle I just bought from Costco. Like the picture on the box, it looks nothing like the actual contents inside. The picture on the box has like, massive chunks of peanut brittle, right? And then inside the box in the bag, it's like little bits
Right,
that
right.
are like, each maybe just slightly larger than a single peanut.
Exactly. And that's Costco. And Costco is usually pretty damn good about giving you good product for your money.
Yeah.
But what are the other things we can hold these companies' feet to the fire as far as false advertising?
I
If
think
if these guys could win this lawsuit, then what other lawsuits can be won under these same sort of premises? What?
hasn't sort of like the food domain kind of been played out already in terms of lawsuits. I feel like I've seen disclaimers on a lot of these videos or photos that say like,
Maybe.
this is just
Yeah,
a
perhaps. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe, yeah, maybe because somebody won a lawsuit like this already.
exactly, yeah.
I will say this, just restricting it again to the more specific domain of movie trailers. I like it because I'm not I didn't care to the point where I was going to file a lawsuit, but I have seen trailers and then when I watched the movie, I was like, "Well, what happened? I saw some stuff in the trailer that didn't even happen in the movie. What?" And I was pretty disappointed, you know?
Can you think of an example of that? Because yeah, there's no
No, I
way I would
can't. There's a
remember.
lot of Marvel films that did that.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example right now, but I do remember thinking this movie did the thing that I saw in the trailer did it even happen? And a lot of those cases I bet you it didn't because that's the thing. The people who cut the trailer have access to all the footage, whereas what movie you watch is just the theatrical release, right?
This only affects people with functioning memories,
Right. So not you.
not me.
Right. But I am happy about it. It may seem frivolous that these guys filed this law, but here's another thing that I would love to be a fly on the wall.
How are they gonna know who can collect on this?
So I was gonna say, what did the conversation like? What person goes to a lawyer and says, "Hey, man, I paid $4 for this rental, and They ripped me off. There was no Anna de Armas in it. Do we have a lawsuit here? And the lawyer said, yeah, let's do a class action lawsuit. You're totally right. You were ripped off, man. We're gonna get justice for you.
Uh,
I was gonna say, what weirdo goes to a lawyer with this sort of request? But then
that's
I
the U.S.
I do understand that that's not how it actually works, though. How it actually works is
Probably the lawyers are asking
the
people.
lawyer is the origination, right? The
Yeah.
lawyer, some ambulance chaser, looks at different class action lawsuits because who really wins in these situations? Lawyers.
Yeah. And they're probably specifically looking, yeah, they're trolling the tech companies and what are companies that have a lot of money, right?
Right. So they're looking at what kind of suits can be done, where are companies guilty of this or that, and now I need to find the plaintiff, right?
Yep.
And that's so the starting point is a lawyer. So it's not cringe and weird because the lawyer started it and they found a plaintiff and they went from there. And now they'll send little letters like we've all received these class action lawsuit letters, right? It's like respond to claim your $2 for this, right?
Yeah. I
And it
actually
seems like
just got one for
right, for what?
Apple for laptop keyboard.
It seems like why would I what loser would sue for $2? Like no loser sued for $2. What happened was a lawyer saw an opportunity for a class action lawsuit and they didn't sue for $2. They sued for millions of dollars. So they got like $4 for every single person and they took two of them and they sent a letter to all the people who were quote unquote wronged and they said, "Do you want to collect your $2?" Some of them responded, some of them didn't.
Doesn't it seem
And
like it really seems like easy money?
well, I mean, how many there's many instances, examples of class action lawyers who are fucking rich, right?
Not
Think
too
about
late
the
for
class action lawyers like
career change.
who sued tobacco companies and stuff. How much money they did they make?
Yeah. So okay, so you said who wins, and that's obviously the lawyers, but then who loses, right? So ultimately the consumers lose because companies are just going to forward the cost onto the consumer.
Or the consumer might be a winner because maybe companies are more incentivized to be honest in their advertising, right?
That's true. That's a pro. Yeah, that's a pro.